Hey guys, Bobby here, and I'm really excited for this video talking all about making passive income with footage that you already have. That's right, stock video, how to sell it, and 5 easy tips to help you make the most of your footage. So in the first part of this video, I want to go over the platform that I've been using, which has been an absolute game changer. And then I'll get into a few basic tips that are helpful for optimizing your footage. Before any of that though, let's quickly talk about what stock footage is. Stock footage is a clip that you upload to a variety of marketplaces or agencies that companies or individuals can buy a license to and use it for their projects. These clips contain no audio, are a minimum of 5 seconds long and a maximum of 59 seconds. They're already color corrected or graded, and they are one continuous clip, no sequences. So now I want to talk about BlackBox, which is the platform that I've been using and has been a game changer in the stock world in my opinion. I have a link for you guys to check out below in the description, and I'd really encourage you to do so. So many years ago, I began uploading stock footage and it was an absolute pain. I had to upload to each site individually. I had to do the keywording and the descriptions on their platforms, which were all different, and I had to keep track of things between all of them. And at the time, it was an experimental side project for me, and it quickly became just too much to keep track of, and I quickly gave up and moved on. Then maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I heard about a service called BlackBox, which essentially works as a middleman between you and all of these marketplaces and agencies. And it does it for a pretty small percentage of the sales. When I dug into it more, I was just floored with how valuable this service was, as it offered 2 huge selling points for me. First of all, as I mentioned, you upload directly to their server, you do all the keywording, descriptions, and metadata through their platform, and then you are done. They send it out to a variety of the major agencies, which saves you immense amounts of time and organization doing all that between multiple marketplaces. Then when a clip sells, BlackBox takes their small cut of the sale and pays directly into your PayPal account. Second, and maybe even more useful and unique, is the ability to share profits between people. This opens up a wide array of collaboration opportunities, and it's an amazing feature that they have. If there are things that you aren't good at or you don't have the time for, you can now share a percentage of the sales with another person or people who contribute to the clip selling, and BlackBox handles all of the payment splits for you. So for example, sometimes I have a batch of clips waiting to have their tags and description done, but I know I won't have time to do it for a while. I can reach out to a handful of people who focus on curating clips. I can assign them 20% of the sale of all those clips, and they'll go in, fill out the metadata, and we're good to go. You can even have people do the trimming, color grading, and uploading for you as well. Alternatively, on the front end, I can have models do a shoot for me that are willing to work with payments on the back end and assign them a percentage of the sales as well, which again, BlackBox will take care of for me. So I've been at it for just a handful of months now, and I'm already seeing sales coming through, and I've been really surprised at just what can sell on the stock sites. The first thing I did was comb through all of my hard drives, and I was able to grab a few hundred clips which have already been selling without even getting into my archived footage. So definitely check out the link below, and I'd encourage you to sign up, go through those hard drives that you have, and start making some sales with the footage that would otherwise just sit there. I'm by no means an expert at this point, but I have started to see success with a variety of clips selling through BlackBox. So let's go over a few tips I have to help you have the best experience selling stock footage. Tip number 1, you don't need a fancy high-end camera. If you do have one, then by all means use it, but you can sell tons of footage that is shot even on current cell phones. So use what you already have access to, and you can always upgrade down the road. Tip number 2, if you have the ability to, you should shoot everything in 4K. 4K footage is going to demand a higher price point, and it will give the client the most flexibility in using the clip. Not to say that 1080p clips are worthless. A ton of clips that I've uploaded and sold are 1080, but from here on out, when I shoot specifically for stock, I plan to shoot 4K if I can. Tip number 3, you do need to grade your footage. So log footage or anything like that is a no-go, but you want it to be a standard Rec 709 grade. You don't necessarily want to give it a specific look, so to say. You want it to look natural, but try to give it a little pop as well to stand out. Tip number 4, if you can, try to involve people. This will require model releases, but getting good shots that involve people with a release is generally more difficult of a task, so there's less footage out there already and therefore less competition. Remember, you can set those shoots up without any money up front, instead assigning those models a percentage of the sales on the back end. Tip number 5, 2 things to look out for that can make stock agencies reject your footage, among others, are shaky footage and improper exposure. When you can, you should be using some form of stabilization like a tripod, a monopod, or a gimbal. And you'll also want to make sure you trim the front end and the back end of the clip where it often shakes from starting and stopping. And you always want to nail exposure. If your shot is overexposed, there isn't too much you can do. And if it's underexposed, you can sometimes bring it back, and combined with the noise reduction plugin, you can sometimes make it usable. But in general, as with anything, you want to nail it in camera if you can. So that's it, guys, my very brief overview of BlackBox, which I think is revolutionizing the stock footage game. Again, I've got a link in the description down below to the sign up page on BlackBox for you guys to get started. If this video helped you, please hit that thumbs up button. And as always, I'd love to have you subscribe and follow along for more videos.